Do anything
I
fun?
know we're on a talk show here. I should probably say more than good. Got some Christmas shopping done yesterday. I've still got like 2 more things to buy.
Nice.
Yeah.
2 more things. Are you always a down-to-the-wire Christmas
No,
shopper?
I'm not. I'm actually someone who likes to finish it. Like, I like to get it done, like, early. Like, I'm someone who will buy someone's birthday. If I have to buy a birthday present for somebody, I'll buy it, like, 2 months before their birthday. Because I'll see it, and I'm like, hey, I think that person would like this. I'm going to go ahead and do this now and not wait. And Christmas, usually I usually get Christmas. I've been very good about getting Christmas done, like, late November, very beginning of December, and that just did not happen this year. But I'm a gift card guy.
I love a gift card guy.
I am a gift card. I want gift cards, and I will give you
gift cards.
Yeah.
Somebody reached out. They had my husband as their secret Santa, and they're like, "What should I get him?" I said, "A gift card."
Yeah.
Like, we don't need stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, surely there's something. No. A Hive gift card would be great, because guess where we're going to go every weekend almost? Hive. And so they got him a Hive gift card.
There you go. It's perfect.
Shout out Hive.
It's absolutely perfect.
Shout out the bakery at Hive.
Yeah. I've never been there.
What?
I know. I don't live downtown anymore.
Yeah, but it's still so close to work. You can go get a sandwich. You should get the turkey on rosemary sea salt. Jacob's a big Hive guy too.
So I conflict. Me and Rosemary. Not the song.
Never heard of her?
Right. But like this. I like rosemary on things.
Okay.
Love it with lamb chops. You season it with lamb chops.
Right.
You know. But sometimes people use too much rosemary and it can be very overwhelming. Is that the case with this turkey rosemary bagel?
It's a rosemary sea salt bagel. I would say the rosemary is demure in its presentation. It's not rosemary forward. It's like hits the back of your taste
It is not
buds.
very demure.
Not very demure.
Yeah.
It's really good.
The rosemary bagel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I promise. What's up, everybody? It is Monday, December 22nd. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. John Roser in for CJ behind the glass. Coming up on today's show. Wasn't a very fun Memphis sports weekend. The Grizzlies lost to the Wizards, so that stunk, and they're in Oklahoma City to face the Thunder tonight. We will get into all the happenings. A bummer of an injury on Saturday here at FedEx Forum as well. Memphis football lost its bowl game. Memphis Tigers men's basketball lost to Mississippi State. Like I said, not much of a joy. We'll get into the Dirty Dozen from the weekend, 12 plays from college football and the NFL to describe the football weekend that was. It will mostly include college football playoff first round. Had a lot of blowouts, not the most exciting first round of action. We'll also get into some of the biggest NFL storylines from the week. Gary Parrish will join us to talk about anything and everything. He counted his chickens before they hatched. He told us we'd be talking about a 500 Grizzlies team on this Monday. I will make him answer for his crimes. It is a Monday. You know what we say. Fa la 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 la.
La 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 la.
Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
The Grizzlies are the one thing everyone in the family can agree on. So join us every Sunday this season for Sunday Family Fun Days. It's a steal at just $35 and includes a ticket to the game, a $10 food voucher, post-game free throws on the court, and a meet and greet with mascot Grizz. Space is limited, so grab your tickets now for this unique experience your family won't soon forget. Go to grizzlies.com/Sunday and have a fun day.
Who have you leaned on the most in terms of asking questions? Because there's always a fine line, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be the rookie that's annoying people.
Exactly.
On the other hand, you want to be a sponge.
You can ask any of the guys. Like, I'm asking, it'd be random games where I'm sitting next to Ty or Jai or Scotty, and I'm like, hey, bro, what would you would have done right there? Like, what do you feel like you would have did in that situation? Boom, 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 I probably would have did this. I'm like, all right, cool, I got it locked in now.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out. Ay, let's have a little fun now. Ay, I wanna let it all out. Ay, that's what it's all about. Ay, ay, 'cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you had a better weekend than Memphis sports. They say bad things come in threes, Roser. And
Yes.
Bennett Doyle was sitting next to me at the Grizzlies-Wizards game on Saturday. He said, I don't like this feeling I have. I said, what's going on? What's going on, Bennett?
Yeah, you
said-
gotta go number two. What's going on there?
Things come in threes, and it's been bad for Tigers football, who got destroyed in the Gasparilla Bowl. It was bad for Memphis men's basketball, who got beat by Mississippi State. He said, I don't know how I feel about this Grizzlies-Wizards game. I said, Bennett. Don't worry. It's the 4-win Wizards. What could possibly go wrong? Well, of the three, I do think the most disappointing was the Memphis Grizzlies losing to the Washington Wizards. And instead of being able to come here on this fine Monday morning, the week of Christmas, and talk about a Grizzlies team that would have finally been at 500 for the first time since October, and going into tonight's game against the vaunted defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder in Oklahoma City, a game on national television on Peacock this evening. Instead of talking about them being at 500 going into that game, we have to talk about them losing to the Wizards.
The Wizards.
You've had some time to sit on this. Did it ruin your whole Sunday?
No, it didn't.
That's good.
It didn't.
I forced myself to bounce back as well.
I don't let these. I don't let them ruin me. I don't let.
That's good. That's
I
a
don't
good life
let regular
strategy.
season. Yeah, I don't.
You don't let regular season games against the previously 4-21 Washington Wizards ruin you?
Yeah, I don't let regular season NBA games
Yeah.
ruin me. I've seen a ton of them. I'm unk.
You're familiar with
I'm
their game.
unk. I've been watching these games in this building, covering them since like 2006. So like you see them lose.
Yeah.
You're gonna see lose games. No, I don't lose sleep over it, but it's more of like a gut punch of, oh man, our last two home games, like you were saying, we've lost to the Jazz and the Wizards. Because you felt so good after the Timberwolves game.
Well, the Timberwolves was arguably your biggest win of the season. Your best win.
It's your best win of the season. You feel, and they didn't have Anthony Edwards, but you're like, so what?
But they had won the two games before without Anthony Edwards, and then he comes back and they beat the Thunder.
And we don't have anybody. We don't have our team. We have like 8 guys.
The Grizzlies are back to being a hospital squad. And they rallied around, and what they did have was Jaren Jackson Jr. in the game against Minnesota, and
he pissed me off.
One player does not make a loss. Like, the Grizzlies lost that game in their totality, but it did shift when Jaren had to go to the bench with his 5th foul in the 3rd quarter, and he owned it. He owned it after the game. He said he has to be better. He has to be on the court, and especially in a game where Brandon Clarke goes out early, which was just devastating.
I hate that
to see. It was a quiet exit for Brandon Clarke. You saw him grab at his lower leg and immediately needed to come out early in the 1st quarter. He goes back to the locker room. We get the update that he's out with calf soreness, or was doubtful to return at that point, and he is out tonight in Oklahoma City. I'll give you a quick, really sad anecdote that'll make you even sadder about the Brandon Clarke piece of it, and we don't have an official update. We don't know what the timeline is for him to return. But I was talking to Eric Castletine on the pregame show, and we were talking about Brandon coming out of the Minnesota game and just how great it was to watch him run, jump, and play basketball again. And he said he ran into Brandon after the game in line for food, and he asked him, he said, man, just how good did it feel to be out there? And Brandon just looked at him with like the biggest smile on his face and said, you have no idea. I missed it so much. And then we saw Brandon Clarke go back to the locker room, and I was like, oh.
3 minutes and 52 seconds?
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah,
it was quick.
3 minutes and 52
home
seconds.
Home debut, home exit, quite quickly. But
From
you were already
doing 360s
down.
in pregame to,
You had 9 players going into the game, and then that took you to 8, and then Jaren gets in foul trouble, and that takes you to 7, and eventually it becomes a game of numbers. And the Grizzlies also went from being up 15 at half and 20 in the first half, and they're rolling, and both Jaren and Santi are trading baskets and going off for, I think they had a combined 43, 42 in the first half.
Yeah.
And suddenly CJ McCollum gets hot because you let CJ McCollum, certified Grizz killer, get hot.
Yeah.
Another K. George takes you down. It was Keontae George with the Jazz.
Yeah.
It's Keyshawn George with the Washington Wizards.
Thunder don't have a K. George.
They don't. We did establish that on the double post, so marked safe from a K. George.
But you get 3, but you do have a K. George the next night because you got to play the Jazz again.
Right.
You got K.
And
George again.
The Jazz got a little swagger after they beat the Grizzlies.
They did. They're feisty. The Jazz are feisty.
The Jazz are feisty. The Wizards are not. And I think that's why this one feels worse.
Yeah, it does.
The Wizards are trying to find themselves. They are wandering through the desert of former first-round picks. And I think I really like that Trey Johnson, their 6th pick from
the
last
kid
year.
from Texas.
Alex Sarr can certainly be something.
Sarr can be something, yes. Sarr could be something. Like, that dude's athletic.
Yes.
He can put on the floor a little bit. He can knock down threes. He hit that corner 3 right in front of the Grizzlies bench late in that game. That was a big shot. You know what? Now that I'm having to talk about this again, I'm still pissed at Jaren. I am. You say you can't put it on one person. I can. I put it on him for that. That was awful. And then what happened right after it, too, is it gave the Wizards life. Like, oh, that guy's not in the game. 3.
Oh, you just saw their confidence.
3. And next thing you know, because Jaren went out as a 13-point game. Why are you picking up 3 fouls in 4.5 minutes against the freaking Wizards? Come on, man. I'm mad. Yeah, you made me mad again, Jessica. You made me mad again.
I will say,
I'm going to relive this game.
What made it more frustrating on the Jaren side was just how good he had been on the road trip, both against the Clippers, where not only is he taking advantage of every mismatch, getting to the basket, a balanced inside-outside approach. But against the Clippers, he had the 4 assists, so he's passing out a double team successfully. He's back to being the block panther. He's making big plays defensively. And then against the Timberwolves, it was the big plays defensively that essentially sealed it for the Grizzlies. And he had 12 rebounds. And you're coming off of that road trip, like something clicked. He's available. He's on the court. He's not getting these ticky-tacky fouls because there's always going to be one. There's always going to be one a game where you're just like, what are you doing? But not 3 in 4 minutes.
Against the Wizards.
Against the Wizards.
Like,
of all the teams for it to happen against.
And you had 20 in the first half. You had 20 points in the first half. Like him and Santi, I was like, yep, they're going to do this. And
we wasted a Santi Aldama career night.
And he was my Skydog pick. Robbed me of my Skydog because we only award the Skydog
on a win.
On a win.
It's tough.
Completely robbed me of that.
That's tough.
Yeah. It would have been my second Skydog win of the season.
Well, and I'm
you robbed me of that. Jaren, you owe me You owe me a win and a sky dog. It's what you owe me. That's what I want for Christmas. I want a win and a sky dog.
You might have to wait. I don't want to be a doomsdayer.
I don't wanna wait. If the Wizards can beat us, we can beat the Thunder.
I did give that rationale on the DP because when I was talking to when I was trying to quell Bennett Doyle's anxieties, and I'm also an anxious queen, so I felt a little uneasy, assuming
I get anxiety
the
too.
Grizzlies would just easily beat the Wizards and easily roll themselves into a position where they were 500. But I was trying to explain to Bennett, the good news was the Wizards had just won a game 2 games ago. They beat the Pacers, on December 14th. So I said, can the Wizards really win 2 games in their last 3? I said, that doesn't sound likely for a team that's only won 4 all year. Ow. That actually hurt myself. I hit myself in my ring. That hurt. But for the Thunder, because one could argue there's no way the Oklahoma City Thunder could lose 2 of their last 3 given the trajectory they have been on this season. But why not?
Hey,
Weird things happen in the NBA every night.
So I looked it up. I said, when is the last time because it does feel impossible. Because I was like, God, when was the last time the Thunder lost back-to-back games? Oh, they did it in April. They lost back-to-back to the Rockets and the Lakers.
Oh, okay.
So, they've lost back-to-back games before. They've lost 2 or 3. Why can't they lose 3 or 4? They've lost 2 or 3. Why can't they lose 3 or 4? I don't know. Beat the Thunder.
Beat the Thunder.
Yeah, beat the Thunder. You got to believe. And look.
Still down all the players.
And I got to do radio tonight. So,
But at least make it interesting for
Right,
Roser. And it's on national television.
Yes. Peacock.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm excited. Law and Order crossover event coming January 8th. Saw them run the commercial for it. Yeah, I still watch Law and Order.
Live?
No. I always watch the day after. I typically watch the day after.
I don't think I've watched an episode of Law and Order since I was homesick from school in high school.
Or I wait a couple of episodes and let them build up, and I'll binge a couple.
Okay.
Because you don't have to typically
No.
they have storylines in them, but
No.
that go over seasons that
It's not
that you can miss,
episodic.
but you don't totally have to. No,
It's not in order.
Oh, SVU is the GOAT.
It's like a soap opera.
Yeah, Mariska Hargitay,
serial.
she is the GOAT.
She is.
Yeah.
Detective Benson.
Detective Benson. Yeah, she's captain now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Captain.
But anyways.
She's been promoted.
So yeah, we get to play the Thunder on Peacock
most exciting
tonight.
things that could happen on Peacock this month. Law and Order crossover. And maybe the Grizzlies beat the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And you always get one of those Chicago crossovers, PD, Fire, and Med.
Yeah.
They'll do a big crossover 3-hour event with those 3 too.
What was the last national television game for the Grizzlies? Was it the Spurs game?
Yeah.
When they lost?
When we got Harrison Barnes. One of 2 times we've been Harrison Barnes
Have
this
they been
year.
on national TV since? I don't think so.
I don't think so. We've got one coming up with Philly.
Because it's so interesting from a wraparound standpoint. On that broadcast, I always will remember just the conversation coming out of that game that the Spurs had an identity and the Grizzlies didn't. That was in the midst of their 5-game losing streak.
That was the last
That
of
included
it,
that
yeah.
Celtics beatdown on the road. That was when things felt the worst.
That was Edie's second game back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And things have turned. But
Yeah.
to bring it back to a level response, it's easy to become hyperbolic when you watch the Grizzlies lose to the Jazz and the Wizards at home.
Yeah.
They are insanely injured
They're
now.
very injured.
And that's not an excuse. It's just an explanation of
yeah.
what's happening.
It is.
And that's where wasting the Santi Aldama career night, wasting Cam Spencer's first career double-double, they are again in a position where they don't have a point guard.
Well, so this is also what's frustrating, and this is what's encouraging to me on some level, because there are a lot of teams, some of these good teams, especially the elite, and the Grizzlies are not in the elite, but I do think they are closer to the team that is at the Timberwolves that are at 6. I think they're closer to that than they are at I don't know who's well below us.
So the Grizzlies are not in the bad place.
No, so we're 9th. Okay.
You are not the Pelicans. You are not the Kings. You are not the Clippers. You are not the Jazz. You are not the Wizards. You are not the Pacers. You are not the Nets. You are
perfect. So I think we're 9th. We are closer. The 3 teams ahead of us are the 2. Well, God, the Rockets are in 6 now. Well, I think we are closer to the Warriors, Suns, Rockets, and Timberwolves than we are the Clippers, Kings, and Pelicans.
Oh, the Rockets lost to the Kings in overtime last night. Because I was going to say their
tough
big
one.
win over the weekend was
And they beat Denver.
the Denver
They beat
win where they
Denver, yeah.
ruined Quesarito night at Ball Arena.
They brought that back, apparently.
Yes, and Taco Bell went all out and had shirts with the Quesarito on it on every seat in the arena for the Nuggets-Rockets game. Because
Why
for
don't we
people who missed
get those here?
Because we didn't draft a generational player during a Taco Bell commercial.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Ours went when he was supposed to go.
Yeah, right. Fair.
Jokic went. What number was he?
What
again?
commercial was
I
playing when we
forget.
drafted Cedric Coward? What commercial played after that?
It's not after. Like Jokic was.
The Jokic
so
was during.
Yes, it
'Cause
was.
it was late
They
second
took
round,
a commercial
yeah.
break because he was the 41st pick in the second
Yeah.
round. So they're like, "Hey, commercial break time." And little did you know, the best player in the world was going to get drafted
Right.
during a commercial break. Cedric Coward had his moment.
Yeah, he did.
Zach Edey had his moment. John Morant had his
Cedric
moment.
Coward had moments Saturday night where.
What commercial was playing when Cam
rookie
Spencer
moments.
was drafted?
That's a good one, actually.
Good one. That could be one.
That's a good one. Because that was when they did the second round. Because that was the Bronny James draft.
Yeah.
It's the only reason they had it televised and did it the way they did it. It was like a Friday afternoon when they did it. Yeah.
Do you find sustained belief in point Cam Spencer? Like, do
Yes.
we need to adjust saying the Grizzlies are without a point guard when they have one who started with 19 points, 11 assists, and 2 turnovers?
Yes. So I like Cam Spencer. So what I was going to say is I was like, the elite teams have guys that even when they have guys out, they can still step up and win
Right.
the game, except for like the Nuggets without Jokic is just it's disgusting. But they're without guys. They're without
The
Aaron
Grizzlies
Gordon,
just
they're
did it against the Timberwolves.
And I think, right. And I think the fact that, like, oh, man, well, we lost Brandon Clarke. Now we're only down to 8 guys. But you know what? Like, Santi Aldama's good enough. Like, if he's got to step up and score, you know, that's obviously his career high. But if Santi Aldama had to step up, say, you know, he needed to step up and score 25, like, he can do that. Like, he can. You have capable players. You have players that are capable of doing that. So I'm just freaking mad at Jaren.
I mean, you just got torched defensively.
Yes.
Also, bad night for Jalen Wells to have his worst game in a handful of games. And CJ McCollum's taking an open drive.
Yeah, at the end of the third quarter. We got to quit having these extremes with Jalen Wells. Somewhere it's going to settle.
He's been... He was consistent over the last 10 before the Wizards
Well,
game.
no, but go look at the numbers. They've been like
High,
extreme high. You're talking like extreme, like Mountain. He needs a Mountain Dew sponsorship. It's like he's like been like 58, 60% from the field, and then he's been like 50% from 3. And then in the games when he's not good, and then the games when he's not good, it's like he's like 20% from the field and like 0 for 6 from 3. It's like, can we get, you know, it'll even itself out.
Yes, and that's where, again, not to really belabor the importance of Jaren being on the court at the end of that game, but it was critical from a defensive standpoint.
Was your only guy that's been an
From
all-star.
having the guy
Like-
in the game against the Timberwolves. I said it after the win. I audibly said to Chris while we were watching that game, this is the opportunity for Jaren to be the guy who wins them a game. Is it going to be
Yes.
Rudy Gobert or Julius Randle, or is it going to be Jaren Jackson Jr.? And it was Jaren Jackson Jr.
Oh my gosh, and
And
he
then
was so
against the
good.
Wizards, where on the other side, it's Champagny and Sarr and old CJ McCollum and Chris Middleton,
Yeah. What did Bagley have?
Keyshawn George.
Because did you notice that Marvin Bagley? Yeah.
Marvin Bagley had a night, 16 points, 8 of 13.
Right. And here's what I'm going to look at. This is what I want to look at with Marvin Bagley. Yeah, the second half, particularly. Where is it? Let me see. I could be totally wrong
Okay.
on this. And
Interested
we'll
where
see.
you're going with this.
I feel like the second half is when they were just their dunks. Because when Jaren went out, like
Yes.
the paint's just wide open. Marvin Bagley's just dunk.
Well, and not only do you not have Jaren, you don't have Brandon. So you only have Jock. You have Omax, who's playing minutes now, but your front court is decimated.
Yes.
You are now down again, Edey, Brandon Clarke, and then Jaren due to foul trouble. And that's where he has to be better.
He's got to be better.
to stay on the
You've
court.
got to stay on the court. It's ultimately what it comes down to. That was a hopefully a minor step back for a major
comeback.
Yes.
And hopefully it is not an Oklahoma City Thunder team avenging past atrocities that once happened
Yeah.
long ago in a galaxy far away when the Grizzlies beat the Thunder by 73 points because I don't want to watch a murder.
Yeah,
Save that for the Law and Order.
when I get asked about what is your biggest concern with playing the Thunder, and I would say I don't know how we're going to dribble against them.
That's where the
my
Cam Spencer thing
is dribbling.
becomes.
Cam can actually handle the ball a little bit, but they're going to put pressure.
But there's
on
no
him.
one behind
But
him.
like, there's nobody behind him. I thought Cam the other night. I thought he got tired. He played season high 37 minutes.
I thought everyone got tired.
yeah.
And that, again, like, people say, you're playing the Wizards. You can't be so tired you lose to the Wizards. Agree. But it is a reality when you are down that many players and you have someone like Cam playing 37 minutes. Cedric played 31. Jalen played 32. Jaren still played 32, even sitting out most of the third quarter.
Yeah.
So I thought he looked tired at the end of the game.
Yeah. I mean, they did. They had a couple guys who looked tired. It stinks.
We woke up Sunday morning and Chris just turns over. He goes, I'm really sorry the Grizzlies lost to the Wizards.
Yeah.
I said, thank you.
Yeah.
Coming out of his birthday, that was the first thing on his mind. I'm really sorry. It was tough, but we'll see. Grizzlies Thunder tonight in OKC.
Yay.
8:30.
8:30.
Yay.
I'll be on the radio at 8.
Listen to Roser.
Yeah, if you're driving around.
We will take a quick break. When we come back, it was a tough go for the Memphis Tigers football team, and now it is a seemingly mass exodus from the Tigers football program as the Charles Huff era officially begins. There will be a lot of turnover. We'll talk about what it means for the Tigers plus college football playoff. Round 1 wasn't the most exciting slate of games, but I thought there was some good, and I think people need to shut their mouths when it comes to the group of 5 representation in the college football playoff, and I'm sure Roser and I will argue about it. Garrett Parrish will join us too. We'll be back after a quick break.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
The world needs B2K.
B2K's breakup was a huge shock to their fans.
Boys for Life Tour. The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Journey. Tickets are on sale now at journeymusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Now that's the new edition way.
I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike?
2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Don't miss the Grind City Media Holiday Special. Kick off your celebrations with us at 9 a.m. on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Spend your morning with your favorite Grind City Media personalities as they dive into all things Grizzlies, the NBA, football, and more. You can watch it all on YouTube or the Grind City Media app starting at 9 a.m. I will be there. Roser will be there. We will get you ready for your Christmas spirits.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho,
I'm trying to find out. I'm looking at it now, but they don't have the previous games. How many games have we worn the throwback jerseys? Because we were wearing them Saturday night when we lost to the Wizards.
And we were wearing them when we lost to the Jazz.
And we wore them Friday when we lost to the Jazz. Did we wear them when we lost to the Lakers in the prime game? I feel
that would have been a cup
we
game.
beat them. We beat the didn't we beat the Pacers in them? I need to see all the games.
A chart.
The reason I bring this up is because we have been very good, I believe, undefeated in the Platinum Junts. But I think we're wearing the Platinum Junts tonight.
Chat asked if we'll be live on Christmas Eve. We will be live.
We will be
Christmas
live.
Eve, not pre-recorded. So
yeah,
we
not
will
pre-recorded. It's
with
live.
You
9 a.m. to noon.
So not only did the Grizzlies lose to the Wizards, Memphis football lost the Gasparilla Bowl.
Damn.
Oh, I hate losing the Gasparilla Bowl. NC State wins 31-7. I am spending this holiday season really grappling with my lost love of bowls, not involved in the college football playoff, and I made the decision that I would tape the game on Friday afternoon and watch it later because I had a movie that I really wanted to see. The movie was at 1:30. I decided I wasn't going to change my plans for the Gasparilla Bowl, but I would go back and watch what happened with the Tigers. Spoiler alert. I didn't go back because why would I? They lost 31-7, and I got a notification like 10 minutes into the movie that they were down 7-0, and I got a notification 15 minutes later that they were down 14-0, and then I turned my phone on Do Not Disturb and didn't want any further notifications as I sat and watched Hamnet and cried my little eyes out, not because Memphis was losing to NC State, but because it was very sad, grief, art, beautiful things.
Wait,
this was not, yes?
What movie?
Hamnet.
What
starring
is this?
Jesse Buckley and Paul Mescal. It is the story of
this sounds very,
the writing of Hamlet.
This
loosely.
this was at Ridgeway 4, wasn't it?
Oh, hell yeah, it was at Ridgeway 4.
I knew it's what you said.
Of course it was at Ridgeway 4.
You didn't even have to tell me what that movie was about, but the second you said Hamnet, I was like, yeah, we're Ridgeway.
It is not a movie for everyone, but it is a movie for me and my fellow friends at the Ridgeway 4.
Is that still the best theater in the city?
It's my favorite theater in the city.
Okay.
They also have great chicken tenders.
Really?
I had them for lunch, and they were tremendous.
I saw Gone Girl there, and I saw Silver Linings Playbook there.
My saddest movie I ever saw there was Manchester by the Sea on my first Christmas in Memphis that I spent all by myself because Chris got sent to the Boca Raton Bowl to cover the Tigers football team, and I did not get sent to the Boca Raton Bowl. I was anchoring sports back at Local 24, and so I was here for Christmas all by myself. Both of my parents weren't here, and I went and saw Manchester by the Sea, and I bawled like a baby, and I came home, and I drank a bottle of wine and passed out on my couch and woke up and was like, this is the worst Christmas of my life.
Oh my gosh, Jess, I'm so sorry.
Thank you. It was very traumatic.
I'm sorry.
But I do have good memories of the Ridgeway 4.
I drank a bottle of wine by myself and passed out on the couch.
It was a bad time.
I've done that before, too.
That's the local television life. You move to a city.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a crazy, come around of thinking back on that Christmas and how, just distraught I was and questioning your place in the industry. And now I've lived in Memphis 10 years. This will be my 9th Christmas in Memphis.
And now you drink a bottle of wine in public.
In happiness and joy, but not at Ridgeway 4 because
Right.
I wanted to really appreciate the art.
I love
said
Ridgeway
movie.
4.
I love the Ridgeway 4. I don't love the fact that like no one played for Memphis. There were no opt-outs,
I hate
and yet
that.
no one played,
Yeah.
which just felt weird.
Well, because we're supposed to win one more for Belu.
Did not win one more for Belu.
Nobody played for Belu.
is in a boot, and
Yeah.
Cortez Braham warmed up and didn't play, and Sutton Smith didn't play, and your best offensive lineman didn't play. It was just kind of a bizarre way to end all of this because there were, I mean, those guys had interviews going into the week of how excited they were to play. And they did say that they were legitimate injuries, that they weren't opt-outs. They wanted to play. So anyway, it was just a bizarre ending. The Tigers' streak of 4 straight bowl wins comes to an end. The streak of beating 4 straight power conference opponents comes to an end. Biggest bowl loss since the 2008 St. Petersburg Bowl when they lost to South Florida by 27. It is hard for me to get that worked up over a bowl loss in 2025, especially because this iteration of the Tigers ended when Ryan Silverfield left for Arkansas and Charles Huff was hired, and you turn the page and it moves forward, and it just makes it really hard. And for me, an emotional human being, I feel bad for the players who were on that team because their season didn't end. They had one more game. They had to go play NC State in the Gasparilla Bowl. They went to go play in the Pirate Ship. But if you lose a bowl game that has no implications, like, does it even cause a whimper? I didn't hear a whole lot of people talking about this game. It's more of who's transferring. Oh, look, it's everybody. And Charles Huff isn't retaining any of the former coaches for the Tigers, so it'll be a total turnover on the coaching front. It looks like it's going to be close to a total turnover on the roster front. Antoine Hill, the highest-ranked quarterback recruit in the history of Memphis, who was paid a lot of money to come here, announced that he entered the transfer portal.
Still makes no sense. Looking back, hindsight's always 20/20, but even at the time, I'm pretty sure I said it on the show. I was like, why are they spending $1 million on a guy who's not going to play for them?
Yeah.
Like, it's okay if Alabama or Ohio State or Michigan
they have money to burn.
Yeah, if they want to spend $1 million on a guy, like, I mean, essentially Alabama's paying Ryan Williams God knows what to do nothing this year. So, like, they can do it and still be okay. But the University of Memphis, it's, when you think about how close Memphis could have been to the college football playoff, the loss to South Florida. No, we beat South Florida. Who did we lose to? Tulane, East Carolina, Navy. So maybe you weren't that close. But I tend to think you typically...
UAB was the first bad one.
UAB is the bad one. That's the bad one.
You were very close.
But turns out, you look at the other teams that got in, you could have survived that UAB loss.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could have absolutely survived it. But you look at some of these games, and there's always, if you look at them, Charles Huff even said this, every game you look at, there's probably within the course of that season, there's about 5, 6, 7 plays that you can look at and go, man, if that play would have just gone a different way, that game goes a different way. And I'm like, you spend $1 million on a quarterback at a G5 school who's never going to play for you. You realize that. He's not going to play that year.
Right.
What if you spent that $1 million on players that actually would have played for you,
impact.
that had a real impact? Maybe you would have been in the college football playoff, losing 41-10 to Ole Miss.
Yeah, and in this climate, it's a really dangerous game to play of paying someone that much money if you are not the Alabamas of the world, if you are a group of 5 team, and you pay a player that much money and you don't play him. Yeah. There were 2 options. Either you go with Antoine Hill immediately and have a rebuilding year under him and let him start to develop, and guess what? He probably still leaves. At the end, because that's what happens too.
Now that I think about it, I think we may have to give Silverfield he deserve a little more credit. The fact that, like, bro, you burned $1 million of what your cap is on a guy who didn't play for you, and you still fielded a pretty damn competitive team. Like, that's pretty kind of impressive.
That's where then you throw out the other direction. It's pretty frustrating.
Exactly,
It's pretty frustrating, especially watching how close Memphis could have been. I know they end up losing all those games, but like there was a time period not that long ago when we're sitting here being tantalized by the belief that College Game Day could come back to Memphis because the game would have the implications for them to go to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
And instead, it's a total reset.
We're in the Gasparilla
It's a total
Bowl,
reset. In the Gasparilla Bowl.
Trying to plunder NC State's booty.
Instead, they plundered ours.
They plundered ours, and they got the booty trophy. They got the trophy of booty.
They really should have a booty trophy. When we talk about saving bowl games.
It's a treasure chest. It's booty.
Yeah, but they need to, like, lean in.
Yeah, they need to call it
emphasis on the booty.
It needs to be the Booty Bowl, presented by OnlyFans. The Booty Bowl presented by OnlyFans.
That is how we will save the bowls.
Yes.
That is the only way.
You want it? Hey, What is the predominantly gender that watches sports?
Men.
I mean, you want to start getting stuff presented by OnlyFans. I think that's a way to get bowl ratings up.
I'll never forget
the Booty Bowl presented by OnlyFans.
The awakening of when I first started doing the Grizzlies radio broadcast and for the post game show, which goes like late into the night. Some of those ads that end up popping up, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember the predominant people being targeted by said ads.
Adam and Eve.
College football playoff.
Yeah.
The final scores were Alabama beat Oklahoma 34-24. Ole Miss beat Tulane 41-10 to advance to play Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. Miami beat Texas A&M 10-3 to advance to play Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. And Oregon beat James Madison 51-34 to advance to play Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. Roser, describe the first round of the college football playoff in one word. That's your word.
Yeah, that's my word. I'm trying to think of where I want to start with it because I watched like most of these. I fell asleep for a good bit of the second half of Texas A&M Miami, and I woke up and saw the very ending of it.
I went for a walk at halftime, decided to extend the walk to get us back around beginning of the fourth quarter. Felt like I missed nothing.
I thought Alabama-Oklahoma, people crapped on that. I thought Alabama-Oklahoma was fun.
It was a great game.
I did too. Do I think either one of those teams are going to win the national championship? I don't think Alabama, I don't think Indiana's going to kill them. It is
wild that we live in a world where Indiana is favored over Alabama
and the line went
in
up.
the Rose Bowl.
It was gone from 5-7, so it's gone up.
Don't tell Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
He'll say, they tried to write us off, but we did it right back. He stole the Geno Smith line.
He did steal the Geno
Stole
Smith.
the Geno Smith line.
Alabama had their first and only 30-yard run of the season against a Power 4 team in that game. Their other one came against Louisiana Monroe, their second game of the year. So
that Mateer
they still
pick
can't
six
run the
changed
ball.
The entire game.
It did. The Mateer pick six.
It was a momentum shifter. If I have ever seen one play that you can circle, that you can star and say, that changed everything. And obviously the special teams mistakes. The botched punt was hysterical. That was one of my favorite plays of the weekend.
Yes.
Just so much so that there were conspiracy theorists
that he was doing
saying that he did it on purpose. I'm like, you messed up.
That was crazy.
Muff a punt so badly that people on the internet think you did it on purpose.
I forgot about that play. Yeah. Because there's so many things that happened in that game.
How could you forget? It was beautiful.
It is beautiful. Well, because the special teams play I think of, you never see the kick that goes directly on top of the of one of the uprights. It went directly over it, and I was like...
And their kicker was one of the best in the country. He missed 2 field goals.
Yeah. When he did you see the kick when it happened live?
Yes.
What did you think? Did you think it went in, or did you think it would? You thought it went in?
Yes.
I thought it was no good. And then they ruled it no good. But I
thought it went in.
But then I watched the replay and I'm like, I can see why you think that was good. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
And then I think they did a good job explaining the entire ball has to be on the inside of the upright. Every bit of the ball has to be. Bit. And you could tell it probably wasn't. So
I thought the games were so
Ryan Williams can't catch the ball, and now he's transferring. He's got 10 drops on the year.
I know.
Yeah.
The biggest conversation coming out of the first round because of how those games were. I mean, Texas A&M doesn't have a touchdown.
I think
Texas A&M doesn't score a touchdown.
They
only play. The only team in the first round to not score a touchdown.
Yeah. I think the conversations that I told you before the show, I was like, I think John Mateer and Marcel Reed are both frauds. Like, I think we both thought they were good, really good. And I think we've been giving Mateer the injury excuse recently.
And the SEC bias.
Yeah, and I think teams figured them out. I think everybody figured them out. Or for Texas A&M's case, they stepped up in talent. They leveled up in the level of teams they were playing.
Yeah.
And they lost to Texas, and then they lost to Miami. And I think for Mateer, dude, sometimes that guy will just throw.
Ever since the hand injury, he's
where
never
are you
looked the
throwing
same.
the ball? Yeah.
The largest conversation on my timeline coming out of it was the
G5.
Loud cries arguing against the group of 5 having a place in the college football playoff. kick them to the curb. Like, you have Tulane lose by 31, you have JMU lose by 17. Just ignore the fact that James Madison scored more points on Oregon than any other team this season and had over 500 yards of offense, which was the first time a team has had over 500 yards of offense at Autzen in a long time. But disregard that. Immediately, these games end, and so many college football voices are rallying around the same message. It's almost like they were given a script.
Yeah.
Here, this is the basis. Give your own flavor to it. But the bottom line is, oh, these poor players at James Madison and Tulane had such wonderful seasons, and now they must wear the scarlet letter of a blowout in the college football playoff. We should save them. We should save them by giving them their own playoff. Come on. That is the most patronizing baloney that I have ever heard. And in my opinion, this isn't a group of 5 issue. This is just a widening gap between the richest in college football and the others.
Yeah.
Like, this is the college football oligarchy that we are creating. And right now it's the group of 5 because it's easy to point at 2 of those teams getting in. But 2 of those teams got in because the ACC couldn't even get one of their best teams in their championship game because of their own bloated conference and everything that happens within that.
Yep.
But don't think they're not going to come for the ACC and the Big 12 next. Don't think that that's not next.
Jessica, you know I have been saying it forever. And I said it, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I'll say it all the time now. If you are not, ultimately in the end, if you're not in the SEC or the Big Ten, you're not going to matter.
No.
That's where it's going to head.
22 teams have played for a college football playoff national championship. 16 of them are currently in the SEC and the Big Ten. 11 champions have been crowned. 9 of them have been from the SEC and the Big Ten. And the only school not in that category is Clemson. And now Clemson hasn't won since 2018, and they haven't been a juggernaut since NIL took over and transfers ruled the sport. And this isn't even about blowouts.
But you said how long? What now? How many teams have won it?
11 champions have been crowned.
And
9 of them have been from the SEC and the Big Ten since the college football playoff began.
Was Florida State's not a playoff one?
Did they win the college football playoff? No, that was the last year of the BCS.
That was the last year of the BCS. It was. That's right, because they lost the playoff game to Oregon the next year. That's right.
So, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, people want to turn this into a blowout conversation. I am old enough to remember when Oregon beat Florida State 59-20.
Yeah.
We've had blowouts.
It happens.
Thing.
Yeah, no.
I have more stats. We've had 45 playoff games in the history of the playoff, and 24 of them have been decided by 17 or more points.
Yeah.
Like last year, Ohio State beat Tennessee 42-17.
Then they kicked the crap out of Oregon, too.
About the blowouts. What I see is just a continued, calculated effort to kick the peasants out. And the peasants aren't just James Madison and Tulane. There are going to be any school that can't compete because they don't have the money to do so. That's why you have Kenny Dillingham begging for a billionaire to come in and give a donation to Arizona State as he decides to stay there. But he's like, please, there has to be a rich person in Phoenix who will give us the money to compete. Texas Tech is in the playoff. You have a great second-round matchup with Texas Tech and Oregon because their entire roster is bought by oil money.
And that guy is smart,
He's smart, he's rich, and he has invested in that team.
I don't know if this was the vision of all of it, but the smartest one who was ahead of the game on all of this was Phil Knight. Oregon was not when I was growing up. Like, I was born in 84. Oregon for the 90s and the early 2000s, Oregon was not some massive powerhouse football program. And then, like, the late 2000s, like 2007, something like that, Phil Knight started pouring money into Oregon football, and Oregon became a thing. And now look at Oregon. Now look what they are now. They played the long game, and that's what they are now. And it appears that that's what that Cody Campbell's trying to do with Texas Tech.
Because
Get your way into the SEC.
There's going to be a split.
There's going to be
another
eventually.
Split coming.
It's coming. And the scary thing is, you said the haves, the have-nots. Do you have the money to compete? What's the scary thing is when these big conferences, because it's going to happen when they kick you out because you don't have the money.
For the longest time, I really love the concept of relegation and promotion in college football.
I still love it.
And I don't mind the idea of if you're scrapping this and starting over, sure, then you do have your own playoff for the group of 5, the group of 6 now with the Pac-12 coming back next year, whatever you want to call it, the non-powers that be, and you have a chance to play up, or if you play poorly, you have a chance to play down. But it will require a complete reset because I will tell you right now, there is no universe where the schools that make up the Power 6 are 50% of college football. And right now they play under FBS. And that is the same category that the Power 4 conferences play under. and they are not going to be cool. They don't see it as a win to lose college football playoff money, to lose notoriety, to lose prestige. They don't want their own playoff.
No. We're going to get to
Sorry, I rambled. We got to get to Gary. We're late getting to Gary.
We're late getting
to Gary.
All
We'll
right.
bring Gary Parrish in here. I got on my college football.
Gary probably
playoff
loves this
so much.
conversation.
We'll bring Gary in. He has a crime to answer for.
No, I mean it's going to end up what's going to end up happening in maybe 5 years and maybe 10 years, but it's going to end up there's probably going to be like 16 to 18 teams in the Big Ten, 16 to 18 teams in the SEC, and the SEC will play the SEC year round, the Big Ten will play the Big Ten year round, and then they will have a playoff against each other to determine Big Ten versus SEC championship game. That's what it'll be.
Gary Parrish on the other side when we come back.
It's gonna be food.
Oh, Jared! Support your Grizzlies by voting for them to the 2026 All-Star Game.
Oh, Edie with the big swat on the deck, floats it up, off the glass and in. Cedric Power, yes sir!
Vote now by going to Grizzlies.com/All-Star.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
Just a ham. You're the other white meat.
How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
The only thing better than Saturday Night Hoops is when it comes with an exclusive Grizz hoodie. Every Saturday this season, $60 gets you a Grizzlies ticket and a limited edition Grizzlies hoodie. 4 different hoodie designs dropping across 4 Saturday games. Not sold anywhere else. Don't miss your shot to collect all 4 designs. Grab your tickets and gear up now at grizzlies.com/Saturday.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second-chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Own the 2025-26 Grizzlies season with the 10-game Flex Pack, the ultimate way to catch all the action on your terms. Choose your favorite matchups from intense rivalries to weekend thrillers and customize your pack to fit your schedule. With 10 games to pick, you'll never miss the moments that matter most. Visit Grizzlies.com/packs today to build your perfect ticket pack and cheer on the Grizzlies your way. It's your team, your season, and your schedule. So don't miss out.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Welcome back. It is Monday. That means it's time to catch up with Gary Parrish, host of the Gary Parrish Show, weekday mornings at 10 a.m. on Grind City Media. He joins us every Monday. He joins us now. Gary, what lesson did we learn over the weekend?
We're not supposed to count chickens before they hatch. I'm aware. I knew it on Friday.
I mean, it's like a 2,500-year-old lesson. It was in an Aesop fable.
I tend to subscribe to it. I've been burned by it enough to know that you should subscribe to it. But I'd wanted so badly for the Grizzlies to get back to 500, and I didn't want to have to wait through the weekend to talk about it and be excited about it and celebrate it. So I just thought with the cooperation of Bennett, we could both, in alignment, count our chickens before they hatch, go ahead and get to 14-14, and have a good Friday to send us into the weekend.
Instead, they lost to the Wizards.
I know. I saw it. I read about it. It's a tough situation.
Rosen and I watched it with our own eyes.
Yeah.
Live and in person.
I was flying home from Atlanta on Saturday night, but I did get back into my home to see most of the fourth quarter. And that was terrible.
Yeah.
That's not the type of thing you want to see when you walk in your door.
It was
for
a
the
fun
first time.
environment. They tried really hard to make it the Christmas spirit, and it was not the game ops fault that the Christmas spirit wasn't there. They had a great bit with the Grinch. The Central High School Jazz Band performed, and they are awesome.
Right.
I had heard how great they were. I'd never heard them with my own ears.
They did
the halftime show.
Yeah, they got
were
young Kenny G on the
electric.
sax.
Yes, they're great. But then the Grizzlies just couldn't get it done against the Wizards, Gary. What do you make of a team that has certainly found more of a footing from their 4-11 start and had a chance to get back to 500 because they had won 9 of their last 12 games going into Saturday's contest against the Wizards. But this is also a team that has losses to the Utah Jazz and the Washington Wizards in the last week and a half.
I mean, the simple answer is they are very injured and not elite. And so anything short of that, when you're dealing with a status report that looks like this, you're vulnerable. Now, at tip-off, they were still big favorites. The betting markets had access to all of the status reports. They knew who was playing and who wasn't, and the Grizzlies were still big favorites in the game. So it is disappointing. Don't spin it anything other than that. We can assign blame wherever you want to assign blame. Your star player picking up a fifth foul when he picked up that fifth foul seemed to be a turning point. That's been a thing throughout his career, and once again, it's just – the images from the locker room or Jaren Jackson Jr. having to explain how he needs to be better. That feels like a weekly thing. I know we got away from it for a few games, but here we are again.
It was fun when we got away from it.
The most fun. And so it's disappointing, but they're not good enough and not healthy enough to take nights off or to have their most important player in this context have what happened to him on Saturday night and be full proof of having losses like this hit you in the head. You're still supposed to win the game. They should have won the game. Now, instead of us talking about, just think, I heard you mention this earlier, and I thought it was simple but perfect. It changes the entire conversation today. Right now, we're talking about 14-14, climbing out of that 4-11 hole, and every game going forward is a game closer to Zach and John and everybody else getting back. And now you're on Peacock tonight. Go take a shot at the champs, and it's a free shot. But look at this. And now it's just like these are lost to the Wizards is all we're talking about. So,
and the national the pregame show is talking about this team differently.
Oh yeah,
everything.
Instead of now you can still frame it, but and they still won 9 of their past 13 or however what it is, but they're coming off a loss to the Wizards. They have a losing record. That will be the graphic tonight. And so it's all not the biggest.
There's 8 players on the injury report. One of them is Ja Morant.
Yeah, it's not the biggest deal in the world. The NBA season is long. All the games count the same. You give one away that you're not supposed to. Well, just a game earlier, you got one you weren't supposed to get. So this stuff can balance out, but there was a scenario where we're spending today talking about 500 for the first time since the morning of November 2nd, and instead we're talking about 2 games below 500, and barring a shocker, it'll be 3.
And a tricky pre-Christmas situation where you lose to the Wizards, you play the Thunder tonight in OKC, and you have to turn around and play the Jazz in Utah. And surely you don't want to count your chickens before they hatch.
That's what they say.
But your first instinct would be, well, the Grizzlies are too good of a team to lose to the Jazz.
Yeah, I don't think
twice.
that.
But I don't think you can't say that when you just lost to the Wizards.
Yeah, you can.
And you can't say that when K. Georges have had the performances that they have had against the Grizzlies this season. And, it's the day before Christmas Eve. There's all kinds of weird things that
I like
sift
the
into
sentiment.
that.
I would love to believe it, but it's just simply not true.
Exactly.
The Grizzlies are not too good to lose to the Jazz again.
And that
if
is
you
a
don't believe me,
frustrating place to be.
watch.
Are the Memphis Tigers good enough to beat Alabama State tonight?
Yes, I think so.
That sounds good because they have lost 3 in a row and things don't feel good.
No. I mean, everything about it feels bad.
Yes.
Like everything. Not just the product on the floor, but everything connected to Memphis basketball right now feels lacking. And I talked about this last week, sort of anticipating they might be coming off of a loss at Mississippi State, and I guess in some ways I was counting chickens there too. It just, I don't know how to get it back. There's not an obvious fix here. The fans have clocked out on their most favorite alum. The most important person, certainly in the sports world, who has ever attended school at the University of Memphis, and I would argue maybe the most important person who's ever gone to school there, they don't care anymore. Like, I was talking to somebody down in Atlanta, a bunch of NBA people there, a bunch of college basketball people there, and inevitably, I always say this, but like the little chit-chat small talk stuff you have with people, it always starts with, hey, good to see you. Where you been? How you kids? You still in Memphis? All that kind of stuff. And then it gets, you run out of things to say. So somebody will be like, so what's going on with the Tigers? And you tell them what's going on with the Tigers as best you can. And then you note that the attendance has gotten really bad too. And that this can't be a money loser in this way. And it is right now, and this is sort of the thing that, pushed them to pull the trigger on Tubby Smith so quickly, and we're getting too close to that again. And the question back to me was, but what do they lose? Like, I know it's not good, but like, it's Penny. What do you lose in terms of that if it's not Penny? And I'm like, at this point, not much. And that's sad. Like, when you had to move on Tubby, it was obvious what to do because there was a undeniable fix. He was going to fill the building. He was going to get people excited. He was going to bring the #1 recruiting class in America. That was all pretty easy to predict. And it was fun for a while, but now we've reached a point where the on-the-court product is bad. Everything around it is depressing. And even Penny himself seems like he's not in the best of place. Like, he seems confused on how he got here and how to get out of it. And I don't mean that as a criticism. I mean, genuinely, like, he seems like he doesn't. I think he said over the weekend, like, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. And when you start saying things like that about things you're taking on in your own life, it typically suggests you're a bit confused on what to do next.
Yeah, I thought that was a really, not eye-opening quote, but just illuminating.
Yeah.
And I think it's very fair. Like, I'm not trying to pile on, but this is not what anybody expected. This is what he expected. And he talked also about, this group of players not meeting the standard, not understanding the culture of Memphis basketball. And it just feels like a ever-growing frustration on this particular group. And I know he talked also about how he got this group. And a part of it was in chasing P.J. Haggerty for as long as possible, or waiting for the NCAA to try to give another year for Dane Danger. He said he would do it again. And I'm curious, as someone who is so deeply embedded in the sport of college basketball, would you do it again?
Well, the obvious answer with the benefit of hindsight is no.
Right, but take away the hindsight. Is
that's the problem. You can't.
Yeah.
If you're being honest about it.
True.
It's very easy to sit in front of a microphone and say he was stupid for waiting on P.J. Haggerty. But unless you said that when he was doing it, 10 toes
because
down.
If it had worked,
you're
talking about a different team.
I try not to. I'm not saying I never slip up. Everybody slips up. But I try to be very careful about looking back on things with revisionist history. Like, was I saying Penny is crazy for waiting on P.J. Haggerty? No. I was saying I do think you got to cut it off at some point. Because if they're never going to give you the answer you're waiting for, you're just going to keep waiting until you get the bad answer. In recruiting, the best answer you can get is yes. The worst answer you can get is a late no. The second best answer is a quick no. You want a yes. If you're going to get a no, get it quick, not late. It was clearly a mistake to wait as long as they waited. It cost them in other places, theoretically. But it was a consensus second-team All-American that you thought you had a chance at getting. I understand both sides of it. There's a lot of different places you can bang on Penny if you want to. I don't know that that's a fair one. But I will say this is part of running a program at this level in the year 2025. You got to make hard decisions like this that you didn't have to used to make, that coaches have never had to make in these ways. And a lot of them are struggling with it. Just to, add another name to this conversation. I was in Atlanta for the CBS Sports Classic. Kentucky beat St. John's in the first game. Rick Pitino walks in the media room and immediately starts talking about, we missed on our first 4 point guard targets. And now I'm caught with a roster that there's nothing I can do about it. You know, and more or less was saying this is college basketball in the year 2025. We messed up as a staff. He was owning it, but he was telling us we didn't buy the right players and we're paying a price for it now. 2 days before that, 2 days before they upset Duke at Madison Square Garden, there was Texas Tech's Grant McCaslin talking about certainly the implication. We've spent millions of dollars on this team and I can't get these guys to care the way they need to care and do the things they need to do. Now his players responded to that. But other players, the St. John's players haven't responded to anything so far. It doesn't look like the Memphis players have responded to anything so far.
And we've heard about trying to withhold some of your NIL money. And
all of this is new, and I've been critical of Penny when I felt it was unavoidable.
Sure.
Never have done it enthusiastically. This is...
It's like one of the... You've been here far longer than I have. You're from here.
Yeah.
But even as someone who has been here since 2016... it is just one of those things that feels like objectively hard. And I don't want to take that away from being able to critically talk about a team.
Right.
But he means so much to the city.
It's just, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I know because of some things I've written and some things I've said, everything can get twisted up.
Right.
Like I was the kid who stood in front of that man and said, could you sign this for me? You know, I'm the guy who, I don't think I'm just now thinking of this. I think the only basketball jersey, actual jersey, that I've ever owned was probably a Penny Hardaway Orlando Magic jersey. So I don't do any of this enthusiastically, but you know, it's a job, and you have to talk about these things. And it stinks to see him get to this place. And if I'm being honest, I can find some sympathy for him because this is not the job he took.
Right.
He took a job in a league with real basketball programs. And he took a job at a time when, you know, just relationships and being the Memphis basketball coach could get things done in recruiting. And now it's a money game. It's a league affiliation game. I do not think it's a coincidence, though it can be explained away in both places. Or now let's call it three. You can reasonably argue that after the past 3 seasons of arguably the 3 most important programs on the campus, football, men's basketball, and if you will, let's call it women's soccer. After the past 3 seasons, you can argue that the 3 most important people on the rosters jumped into the transfer portal. PJ Haggerty, the women's soccer player whose name escapes my mind right now. She was the American Offensive Player of the Year. And now your quarterback, your heralded quarterback jumps in. And so this is telling, I think, of where we're at. Now, Ed Scott has raised a lot of money, and there's a lot of corporate support here. But I think the league affiliation combined with the dramatic changes in the sport have, to circle this back to Penny, really changed the job that he took, and it has now become a hard job for anybody. The job he's got today, as crazy as it sounds, is way harder than the job he had on the day that he took the job.
To take it outside of Penny and back to your broader point there of the job of anyone at a University of Memphis is way harder than it was if they had taken it 10 years ago. I was reflecting over the weekend because I am inherently built to root for the group of 5. It's great that I ended up in Memphis because this is the kind of program that I grew up on from my dad's time with the WAC to the Sun Belt to the MAC before I was even born or when I was a baby. I came out of the womb ready to champion the little guy.
Of course.
For the bad word in my household, the mid-major that we once called them for a time period.
Just to double down on this, I grew up, it's sort of a joke on the Island College Basketball podcast, but I was raised on the Metro Conference.
There you go.
Like I cared about the Metro and the Great Midwest and Conference. Like these are the things, so I'm with you.
And one of like the greatest days of my life. I got married, that's important.
Sure.
Graduated college. Was the 2007 Fiesta Bowl and watching Boise State win that game over Oklahoma. And I was reflecting as the very loud voices started speaking immediately after Tulane gets blown out by Ole Miss. And the second that Oregon scores on their first possession against James Madison, people were ready to bring the pitchforks out and to come and say, there is not a place for these teams in the college football playoff. And I am built to say, yes, there is, but I am also not naive enough to look at the landscape today versus 15 years ago, because everyone thought Boise State didn't deserve to be in the Fiesta
Sure.
Bowl. They're never going to be able to hang with Adrian Peterson in Oklahoma, and then they do, and they win, and it kind of creates this idea of the underdog having the chance, and they won another Fiesta Bowl, and you have, the UCF win and their run at that time. But for the most part, the group of five doesn't win in these games, and for me, it's way more a testament to just the richest programs in college sports, and I'll put basketball in it, but obviously football is the driver here. They're separating off, and it just feels like we're in this weird interim period where the voices are getting louder, but there's not really a concrete ability to move into a separate new thing. Right. But it feels like we have to be getting there, doesn't it?
I don't know. I don't know how it divides up and when that happens. But we clearly have a problem. I just think that people picking on the James Madisons and the Tulanes.
I think they're missing the larger point.
Wildly.
Yes.
Wildly missing the larger point. Sometimes football games end in blowouts.
Yes.
In the NFL playoffs as well.
Yeah. Especially first round.
Yes. Okay. I don't know if you've, I don't mean this as an actual question, but like, have you ever watched the first round of the NCAA tournament?
Yes, I've seen it many times.
Yeah, there's a lot of blowouts.
Yeah.
We don't care.
It's why it is a monumental event when a 16 seed knocks off a 1 seed.
Now, let me be clear. It is less likely to happen in football than basketball for a lot of different reasons. Football, not to oversimplify it, is, some of these teams in the SEC are just going to be bigger, stronger, faster, and you can't do nothing about that. In basketball, there's always a 3-point line, and a guy named Jack Golke can make like 11 of them, and now you got something. That's not. It's harder to do in football. So the upsets we're yearning for, and frankly, like kind of need to quiet this down, they're harder to get, and we won't get them often. We might not get them for a while. It could be like the 116 thing in the NCAA tournament that lasted forever, but when people get caught up on that, they miss the larger point, which is if you want to expand the tournament, I don't care, but you got to have access for these schools because if not,
it's an invitational.
If not, it's an invitational. More than that, it's a lawsuit.
Sure. They exist in the same, as it is constructed right now, they exist in the same quote unquote greater league in FBS.
Right.
So you can't keep half of them without an actual path to the playoffs.
So expand the field if you want to get more teams in it, not like them, fine with me. In fact, I think I would co-sign that. Yeah. Take it up to 16 or wherever. But you got to have those, and I don't get caught up on how ill-equipped they might be to play an Ole Miss or an Oregon as much as I recognize it as a reward for an Ole Miss or an Oregon for having the season that they had. We're already giving the best 4 teams a bye. That's the reward for what you did in the regular season. The BCS people were all concerned about the regular season. Well, this is one way to preserve it. It does matter whether you are 1 or 2 or 1 or 5 or 4 or 5. And though this year 5 and 6 got those easier games, in most years we know that ain't going to happen. This is an ACC created problem, not a little guy's created problem. So everybody's yelling, you can't have 2 games like that. Well, we won't in most years, all right? Fix the ACC's tiebreaker and you wouldn't have this year. So the real problem here isn't any of this stuff because all of this is important. Like I would argue positive. And you also needed to keep fan bases engaged. We cared about Memphis football deep into the season because of the possibility of playing a game at Ole Miss in the playoff. If that weren't hanging out there as a carrot, we're less interested. I know Tulane got his brains beat out, but how many T-shirts you think they sold over the past week or so?
Ton.
Yes, all of that matters with alumni.
I saw a ton of Tulane fans downtown Memphis.
Okay. So
on Friday night before the game Saturday.
Perfect. So, all of this stuff is what makes college football better in theory. Suddenly there's a way to get there for everybody, and you probably won't ever be a real Cinderella, but there's a chance. The real problem with college football right now isn't the bracket. It's the sport going these ways.
Yes.
And be careful yelling about we got to get the American champ out and the Sun Belt champ out because you know who's coming next.
It's the Big 12 and the ACC.
That's right. They're going to get rid of you too. All right.
And Texas Tech will use its money to find its way into a expanded, further fattened up SEC.
There we go.
And maybe someone like a BYU has enough money that goes there, and a Miami has it on that side. But those other teams, and I'll take it, the bottom teams in the Big Ten and the bottom teams in the SEC, there is a potential universe where you're not safe either.
Oh yeah, they get rid of you and replace you with the other Big 12 and ACC they'd rather have, or they can just add Big 12 and ACC to what they already have. But eventually, you're going to get to a place where if you are not one of the brands in the Big 12 or the ACC that is deemed valuable by the Big 10 or the SEC, you could become a second-class citizen, and it's already happening in recruiting. Yes. If you go look at recruiting rankings, it's not just like we still say Power 4, but it's really Power 2.
Yes.
All of the recruiting classes
I can't remember the exact number, but it's almost exclusively Big Ten and SEC outside of
it's like 23 of the
Texas
top 27.
Tech, Miami, and Notre Dame.
USC's in the Big Ten.
We're number one, actually, next year.
Yeah, so Florida State's in there, but Clemson, I think.
Maybe.
And so the divide is happening not from the Power 4 to the Group of 5. It's happening from the Big Ten and the SEC, everybody else. And right now, they're aiming all their vitriol at the Group of 5. But once they get them out the way, then they're going to aim it at the Big 12 and the ACC. And that's when they take the North Carolinas and the Dukes and the Virginias, the ones that they want. And they, to your point, then they break off and they do their own thing. And you better hope you're on the right side of the fence when that happens, because if you're not, you will be on the wrong side of the fence forever.
Yeah, it depresses me.
Yeah.
What a weekend. What a depressing weekend, Gary. Have you ever thrown a water bottle at someone?
Chris Vernon threw a golf club at a golf cart yesterday. I witnessed that.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, but
I'm interested in this. what in your Sunday golf game? He threw a club at a golf cart.
I'll let him tell. That's his story to tell.
That's his story to tell.
That's his story to tell. I'll let him tell it if he wants to.
Yeah.
I'll let him tell it if he wants to. But that's the only thing I personally saw thrown in any direction yesterday.
Okay.
I don't believe I've never thrown a water bottle
that may have inadvertently hit a child.
That's what Ed Cooley did.
Yeah, I know.
What a mess.
Yeah,
that was just a weird thing.
Yeah.
People are wild.
I'd say it happens to the best of us, but I've never thrown a water bottle that then hit a kid in the face.
And like the kid is like that's in the player's family.
Yes.
And so that could have ended like super badly, because if it hit him in the nose, now you got a little kid, a bloody nose.
Going like Marsha Brady. My nose!
It's a bad visual, right? So, that was among the weird headlines in college basketball this weekend.
Yeah.
I didn't throw anything at anybody. I'm not saying I
proud of you.
Didn't think about it, but I didn't execute it.
We'll take a quick break here. Gary, thanks as always. We'll come back, wrap up the NFL weekend that was. We had some wild endings to games, some interesting playoff scenarios. That's after a quick break.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of over $550,000 in free play and a brand new Lincoln. Here Comes Santa takes flight on Saturday, November 1st, when you can begin earning entries. And don't forget the grand finale drawings on Saturday, November 29th and Saturday, December 27th to win a share of over $40,000 in free play or a brand new Lincoln. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Monday Night Raw returns with non-stop action, unmatched energy, and the superstars you love.
We don't get mad, we get even. We don't go home till we beat them. This is our time, we ain't leaving. Give me the crown undefeated.
Witness the moments you'll never forget. Monday Night Raw, Memphis. Monday, February 16th. Tickets and ringsider packages on sale next Friday.
Grizz Nation, Friday nights just got a whole lot better. Introducing Buckets and Brews, the ultimate way to tip off your weekend. Every Friday this season, grab a terrace-level ticket to the Grizz game and 2 12-ounce Miller Lights for just $55. Get great seats, cold brews, and Grizzlies basketball. It's everything you need to start your weekend off right. So get the deal that's too cold to hold. Go to grizzlies.com/Friday to lock in your tickets today.
Welcome back. Normally on Mondays, we do our Dirty Dozen, 12 plays from the football weekend to describe college football, NFL. We're doing like a half Dirty Dozen. CJ's out.
Yeah.
We'll just go through the biggest events of the weekend. I do think the wildest game ended up being Steelers-Lions, which is pretty crazy considering we also had a game this week with a successful onside kick and the Bears overtime win and the Seahawks 16-point fourth quarter comeback on Thursday Night Football. But the end of Lions-Steelers featured 2 offensive pass interference calls. The first one wiped off an Amon-Ra St. Brown touchdown, and then the Lions down 5, 4th and goal from the 9 with 8 seconds to play. St. Brown gets the catch here, knows he's not going to get to the end zone, so he just flips it back, and Jared Goff ends up running it into the end zone. And the officials do announce that it is a touchdown, but then it was a pump fake to the fans because they were like, actually, it doesn't count. Sorry. Offensive pass interference on St. Brown. He pushed off Jalen Ramsey. Good call? Fair call?
I think it was a good call.
I thought the second call, that one that we just showed, was fair. The first one on Tasala was a little weak sauce.
So I think they're both offensive pass interference. However, I will say the Lions need to understand on the first one, the Tesla dude, only the Chiefs get away with that. The Chiefs are the only team that gets away with that. The Chiefs do that play like 10 times a game, I feel like. I've seen it a ton. Feels like we had a lot of offensive pass interference called yesterday.
Yeah.
Like
but 2 in the last 10 seconds of
2 in the last.
Steelers. I mean, the Lions were like apoplectic afterwards in the locker room. I heard Aiden Hutchinson's availability. Where he just said, "No, the refs took this one from us." I'm like, okay, well, maybe don't put yourself in a position where you allowed the Steelers to run all over you all game.
Yeah, the Steelers were in. Yeah, I mean they
out-physicaled the Lions.
They did.
They beat the Lions at their own game.
The Steelers didn't have TJ. Well, the Steelers didn't have like their top 2 pass rushers. Like, they out-physicaled the Lions. Like, maybe Lions don't do some of the stuff you've done this year, and you wouldn't be in this spot. Yeah. But the Steelers, I don't know. I think they're both offensive pass interference. The thing is, feels like you can go 3 weeks in the NFL. 3 weeks of an NFL season and not see 1 offensive pass interference call.
And then see 8 on one Sunday.
Right. And then 2 within 3 plays of each other. So, but I thought they were both offensive pass interference. Yeah. Now, I could be biased. I needed a Steelers win for the Niners
because
to
the
clinch.
Steelers win lets the Niners and the Bears seal their playoff position. And now the Lions have to win out, and they need help from the Packers, who have to lose both of their final games in order for the Lions to make the playoffs. But I really walked away thinking just hell of a win for the Steelers.
It is.
I mean, to run for 230 yards, the 2 Jaylen Warren long touchdowns.
Yes.
He won me a fantasy football game, so I'm
There you
biased, but
go.
those were huge. Kenneth Gainwell comes up with one of the best catches you will see all season in the NFL.
Is that the touchdown of the year? Touchdown of the year?
It's at least top 3.
It's up there.
I mean, this was
I feel like
from
that
Aaron
Tesla
Rodgers,
dude had an amazing one, too, earlier in the year for the Lions.
falling catch for Gainwell, rolls up, runs it in for the touchdown. It brought me back to my old highlight calls for Kenneth Gainwell at Memphis when I'd say, Kenny and the Jets, because those were the good times.
That is some straight
TV
good. Stuff right there. I respect it. You got to have a certain level of corn to do TV like that.
You have to be willing to lean in.
Yeah.
And I always was. Certainly one of the best catches of the year. I watched it over and I was mesmerized by it. I was like, oh, that was awesome.
I would have done Kung Fu Kenny.
That would have been good too.
Royalty inside his DNA.
See, you get it too, because you have to have a certain level of corn to be able to call games in the G League.
You absolutely do.
Handshake, Corn.
Oh, we've got Charlie Brown Jr. Call him CB and J.
That's insane.
Shouldn't have admitted that, should I?
It's a step too far.
My bad.
No one would have known.
My bad.
Who's going to know?
Nobody would have known.
I did love the scene of Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin walking off the field with Aaron Rodgers going 200 mother effing wins in the NFL right here, because it was Tomlin's 200th win, and it did seal yet another winning season for Mike Tomlin. 19 winning seasons.
Look. That's insanely impressive. Yes. Like, that is, Mike Tomlin gets crapped on a lot. It feels like Mike Tomlin gets crapped on a lot now.
Because they haven't been a contender since Ben Roethlisberger was there.
They haven't been a contender. It's been a long time since they've been a contender. But do you know how many teams have, like, sucked in the NFL forever?
Yes.
Like, relate this to the NBA. Do you know, like, the Sacramento Kings would kill for, like, 19 years of 42-40?
Right. Like, you know, I'm going to give you 19 years of
yes.
consistent winning.
Yeah.
Would you take that?
I mean, I would absolutely take that. Yeah. But it does get annoying. Fans get annoyed. But I get it, though. Fans do
it's
get
like
annoyed.
The emphasis of
and they
the
want to take
standard
the
is
next
the standard.
step. They want to take the next step. But, like, there is something to, like, when I go to the building or the stadium or the field or arena, whatever, and I know I'm going to see a competitive team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is something to that, to where you do have hope. And at least when you field a competitive team, you have hope every game you go into. So shout out Mike Tomlin. That's impressive.
Crazy consistent.
Yeah, crazy consistent.
Like we said, Lions playoff hopes are small.
What else
Niners into the playoffs.
Niners into the playoffs.
Bears into the playoffs.
Bears
and
into
their
the
win
playoffs.
over the Packers on Saturday was nuts. Confession, I had the game up on my laptop while we were in here doing the double post. And this throw from Caleb Williams is one of the best throws you will ever see from a Bears quarterback.
That from any quarterback.
DJ Moore with the catch. If you zoom in on that catch, like, he had no eyes on the ball because he was saran wrapped by the defender. But the throw from Caleb, just gorgeous, 56 yards in the air, 25-mile-per-hour winds. Couldn't have asked for a better one. That man showed up with his nails painted, with his matcha, with his wired headphones. He said, I'm going to grate the cheese out of these Packers. He showed up at an event yesterday. They all have these cheese grater hats.
Yeah, I saw DJ Moore's. Yeah, I saw
big
DJ
fan.
Moore's.
But
lean into it.
Caleb
Packers-Bears, a
Williams-
real rivalry.
Caleb Williams has tied Peyton Manning for the most fourth-quarter comebacks in a season by a player under the age of 25 in NFL history.
It's also crazy.
Sixth
I don't.
comeback.
What I have to see, but I know as of like 2 weeks ago, he was there's something on pace as far as like making the playoffs with like the lowest completion percentage of any starting quarterback. It's like it's never been done, or the last one to do it was I can't remember who, but no, like that pass was incredible. Look, they got an onside kick. Can we just say this weekend of the NFL? When we start Thursday night with Seahawks, Rams, and
it was a banger.
And the 2-point conversion
Yes.
we have there, to Saturday night. Is that the first onside kick that's been converted this year? They've made it almost impossible to convert
Yes.
onside kicks again. So, like, that's insane that has to happen.
Yes.
Then the bomb has to happen. Caleb Williams has to make that pass.
Right.
And then we get Sunday, we get the offensive pass interference calls at the end of the Lions-Steelers game. We get the Jags punking the Broncos in Denver.
That was my other from the three plays that I sent to describe the NFL
had
weekend.
a good weekend. NFL had a good week.
So kind of a crazy stat on number one picks from the 2020s, number one pick quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Perfect weekend. 14 total touchdowns, no turnovers, 5-0.
You
Caleb
know-
Williams, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young, and Cam Ward.
Okay, shout out the Panthers, who, by the way, do they get a home playoff game if they win the division? Or do they play that on the road? Because they're not going to have a better
Right.
record than whoever they play.
I think they'd be on the road.
Yeah, because all the wild card teams are going to have 10-plus wins.
Uh-huh.
Like, all of them are. I think they already all do. But, okay, so I was going to say, if you had to go to Carolina, like,
yeah,
they're good at home. They are. They beat the Cowboys at home. They beat the Rams at home. They beat the Packers at home. They beat, and now they beat the Bucks there. Like, the Panthers are sneaky tough. They're sneaky tough on the home field.
I think from the NFC side, the Panthers are sneaky tough. I think the Jags have to be respected. I mean, Trevor Lawrence had some special throws in that game, and he has been phenomenal. Since week 13, Trevor Lawrence, 1,050 yards, 14 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah, I saw some graph yesterday that basically was like, if you combine offensive and defensive efficiency into just whatever, like one number, it's something like this. They have been the best team in the NFL over the last month. Yeah. They've been the number one team in the
Small
league.
market Jacksonville Jaguars.
Small market Jacksonville.
Small market
Yeah.
Jags after Sean Payton called them a smaller market, but a good team. They hear everything. Liam Cohen apparently has like a motivation board where he's constantly showing them disrespect on social media. And the fact that Cohen brought it up in his post-game press conference tells me everything I need to know. But for them to go into Mile High, to go up against that defense, Trevor Lawrence getting a little of his swagger back. I saw a pre-game clip where he's talking to his team, and he's like, all I've heard about is how good this defense is, but let's show him we don't give an S. Whoever we go against, we're going to beat that A. And I was like, okay, Trevor Lawrence. Like, this is the promised one I was told about, and now he's delivering.
He is.
And that was the game. That is precisely the game that I was talking about with the Broncos. And it could be the one that they need to tune themselves up going into the playoffs. But that version of Bo Nix, and I want Bo Nix to be good. And I have great belief that Bo Nix could be a really great contending quarterback in 3 years, 4 years. There's just still some inexperience there. And considering his age, that's a harsh thing to say. But a game like yesterday where the defense does not totally keep you in it and you give up, 34 points? And he couldn't make the plays down the stretch. And he almost got one of his receivers killed at the end of that game. He's okay.
I don't believe in Bo Nix. Like, well, I don't say I don't believe in him. I just have still. There's a lot of questions there. And
I have cautious belief, but I really struggle to buy in that they can win it all this year in an AFC that has so much potential for anyone to take it.
Okay, so let's say that you get in a playoff game, and it is Bo Nix against Trevor Lawrence.
See, this is kind of the crazy thing about the AFC, though, is there's no one that I'm saying, oh, yes, definitively.
I think you can do this with the NFC, too. Although I think the Rams are the favorite. Their special teams is terrible. It's terrible. They fired
first time
their
ever that
special teams
McVay has fired a coach in the middle of the season.
And it's not the first time, and their special teams has been bad all year.
But go through the AFC.
Go through okay, so we got Drake May. Drake May or Bo Nix?
And he had a hell of a
Drake May.
game
Drake
at the
May's
end of that
awesome.
game yesterday.
He is awesome. Josh Allen.
And the Patriots have a good enough defense as well.
Yeah. Josh Allen's the best football player on the planet.
Josh Allen is definitively the best quarterback. I mean, that's the thing. If the Bills don't make it to the Super Bowl this year, it is a travesty.
Yeah,
because you do not have to go against the Chiefs. You do not have to go against Joe Burrow. You don't have any of the gamers for it to turn into a shoot fest. But their defense stinks.
It's crazy. Their defense does. But they're 4-0 in games where they've allowed 31 points or more. So it's like when they do have a stinker, Josh Allen
can get him out of it.
And James Cook is awesome. James Cook has 9 games of 100 yards rushing or more. It's the most in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers. I don't know why the Steelers are good either. I don't either. It blows my mind. But they're 9-6.
Aaron Rodgers occasionally, I mean, I can't, coming off of yesterday's game, he looked more than capable of being that version of Aaron Rodgers. But I do think you reach a certain age where some days you wake up and your body doesn't feel very good.
Yes.
So is it the day of the playoff game? I don't know.
Well, that's when he goes and just lives in a cave for 24 hours.
Right. Do a little ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
That was a time.
Hyperbaric.
That was a time.
We went through the Jags. Here we go. The hottest team in the NFL. The Houston Texans, who were 3-5, have won 7 straight and are now 10-5. We've talked about them on the Chris Vernon show as being
I almost got Ashton Genty yesterday.
That is the team that would terrify me to play them because their defense
is so good.
They don't like disguise anything. There's like some stat that like talks about disguising coverages, disguising blitzes, and what you do. And it's like they don't do any of that. They just line up and say, "All right, try to score on us." And Stroud has playoff experience.
That's what I was going to say. That makes a difference.
And Stroud's been a gamer in those. Like, he's won a playoff game, but, like, the games he's lost, I think it was the Ravens and the Chiefs, like, man, he has gotten his ass kicked in those games, like, physically, because their offensive line hadn't been good. And that dude still stands in there and throws. Like, I'd be scared of playing the Texans. And then, obviously, the other one.
And the Chargers just keep
winning. Justin Herbert is. I saw, I think Ben Solak said if he had to vote MVP right now, he would vote, I think he said Drake May 1.
He's still my heart.
And had Justin Herbert number 2. And it's crazy.
And considering, the decimation of the offensive line, he has a broken hand.
Yes.
And certainly,
their defense
it took
really
a dip
good
in the middle of the season. Their defense has kept them in it.
Yes.
And their defense has won them games.
Yes.
And has had them avoid the pejorative of chargering.
Yeah.
But Herbert, some of the throws he made yesterday, and granted, like he has receivers who aren't dropping the ball either. Quentin Johnston had some awesome catches.
And I remember
it was against the Cowboys. Like
it is what it is. Yeah, it was against the Cowboys. And I will say, like, I watched that Monday night game, some of that Monday night game that the Chargers played against the Eagles. And we talked about, I said Stroud got his ass kicked in a couple of those playoff games. Dude, the Eagles sacked Herbert in that Monday night game like 8 times, and that dude still was like standing in there trying to throw lasers. Like, he's tough as hell. Props to Justin Herbert. So, no, the AFC it's wide open, but I would take probably every quarterback in the AFC over Bo Nix. I mean, that's in the playoff picture. I'd take all of them over Bo Nix.
Just because I haven't seen it in the playoffs.
But their defense, Denver's defense,
is
can
unworldly.
be,
And home field, if they can get home field
home
advantage.
field's real. It's cold as hell there, and the altitude.
It's been beautiful. The last 2 weekends have been like 65 and gorgeous in Denver.
Weird.
But the altitude, it could snow any given moment.
Right.
we have reached December 22nd.
It will be January when they play these games.
Well, Roser, thanks for joining us on this Monday.
For sure.
That'll do it for today's show. I think Bennett's on duty tomorrow. You get to take the morning off after Grizzlies Thunder.
It's crazy. So today I had this Chris Vernon show, Odds Couple, Grizzlies Radio tonight.
Yes.
Tomorrow, Bennett has Jessica Benson show, Gary Parrish show, Sneak Fest, Grizzlies Jazz.
Yep. And then we'll all be back for the Grind City Media Holiday Spectacular.
And then we'll all
Wednesday.
be, well, Bennett won't,
we
but I will
are off
be.
on Christmas.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Bennett's
off
that
Christmas
day. But
Eve.
we'll be here. We'll be here.
We'll be
Thanks,
here.
everyone, for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful start to your week. We'll see you tomorrow. Grizzlies Thunder tonight on Peacock, 8:30. We'll see you tomorrow.